I'm joined by Kyle Balgames. Welcome, Kyle.
How are you?
Raja Suleiman with Orzhov.
Max McVitie.
Congratulations, Brian Mars.
Zach Allen. I wouldn't be here without these guys, though. So.
And the champion of Pro Tour counter-attack here, Ari Lax.
Alright, welcome everybody to another edition of Making Magic Happen, brought to you by RAW Hives and Games in Livonia, Michigan. I'm Zach, and today we've got another user submitted list. So, we're playing Blue-Black Control in Pioneer. I absolutely love the Narset Parter Veils Gaia Reach Sanitarium lock. I've tried to put it in Blue-White Control. When Inverter was dominant, there was like one paper event Inverter got to play after the Pro Tour, at an SCG anyway, that before COVID hit and there was no more paper events, but there was one we got to play, and I played a Blue-Black Inverter deck at the event, and ended up losing my win in for top 8 in the last round of the event. It was very frustrating, but I had the Gaia Reach Sanitarium Narset lock in the deck, and it was excellent the whole event. It was really sweet. Every time you lock someone out with it, it just feels really, really good. So I'm a fan of it. I want to see how this deck plays. It's awesome. It was submitted by a user named Starspielerr, who's commented on some of the videos, also apparently follows me on Twitter. And they said they've got this challenge to bring competitive Pioneer decks to their local playgroup that aren't necessarily tier 1. They aren't the best decks. And I think this fits that perfectly. I would not say this is the best deck in Pioneer by any means, but I think it's doing a lot of sweet stuff. And it definitely looks competitive. One of my barometers for like how competitive can a deck be in Pioneer is, are you playing Llanowar Elves or Thoughtseize? This checks off that box. We got Thoughtseizes, so we're doing something good there. Do we have a combo? Well, in fact, we have a couple. We've got Narset Parter Veils and Gaia Reach Sanitarium, which, for those that don't know, Narset says opponents can't draw more than one card a turn. Gaia Reach Sanitarium says you can tap 2 mana and then each player draws a card, then discards a card. And the combo here is, if I play Narset Parter Veils, and then activate a Gaia Reach Sanitarium in the opponent's upkeep, opponent draws a card and discards a card in their upkeep, and then they don't get a draw step. So if we ever get them empty-handed with both those cards in play, they don't draw another card for the rest of the game. If they have like Uro in their deck, or like a Cruxa, they can still mill it and cast it out of their graveyard, but outside of that scenario, they just don't get another card and the game's over. So it's cool that we have this like Splinter Twin-esque combo you can put together, and even cooler that it is with a land, and like a Planeswalker would be good to play anyway. The other combo, so Narset also works with Commit Memory. Commit is a spell that's okay. It's not great. It's fine. It is fine. I wouldn't say it's the best spell in the world, but 4 mana to put target non-land permanent or spell into its owner's library second from the top. So it's like a pseudo counterspell / downfall removal spell effect. The front side's fine. It's versatile permanent removal, which blue-black does not get. Like, if blue-black, you're playing blue-black and someone plays a Wilderness Reclamation, you just kind of have to look at them and say, alright, that's in play the rest of the game, I can't interact with that, but Commit allows you to do that. So, it is definitely inefficient, but from the sense that it does something that the archetype kind of needs anyway, it's good enough, I think. But the back half is a time twister, so it just says each player shuffles their hands and graveyards into their deck and draws 7 cards. Again, you can break this with Narset, where if you just 6 mana cast the memory half, opponent is drawing 1 card, you're drawing 7. That's broken, right? You can also do it on their turn in their draw step after they've already drawn by using Torrential Gearhulk. Torrential Gearhulk allows you to do this. And if you use Torrential Gearhulk, they will draw no cards. In their upkeep, they'll just shuffle their whole, or in their draw step, they'll shuffle their whole hand and graveyard into their library, draw no cards, and then you'll have a fresh 7. So that's really powerful. We'll see how much that comes together. I mean, you got your standard, opt, fatal push, Thoughtseize, all that you'd expect to see. Eliminate heroes, downfall, draw no lock, neutralize, all pretty good in a blue-black deck. We've got a Teferi Master of Time to help fill the yard for dig through time and kind of put these pieces together. I've got an Extinction Event as a sweeper and 2 more on the board because there are decks you really want sweepers against. The list I was sent did not have a sweeper. I feel like Extinction Event's really relevant. I actually think there's a real chance I should have only one downfall in a second extinction event, but we'll see how it plays out. I could definitely buy that one of these downfalls should be an extinction event. I'm actually tempted to just make the switch right now. I'm not going to do it, but I feel like maybe I'm supposed to do that. I'm just saying. Okay, next we got Shark Typhoon. Pretty standard at this point. A lot of people have seen it. Good card. Lets you pressure planeswalkers. Lets you like hold up mana and then do something good on, do something more productive on your opponent's turn if they don't let you use your neutralize or whatever. And then we've got the other pseudo combo in the deck, which we already mentioned. Dig Through Time, very powerful card draw spell. It is an instant, so Torrential Gearhulk can flashback Dig Through Time. And it also has this combination of Sublime Epiphany. So it's only a one of, but it's sweet enough that I wanted to add it in because it's sweet. If you got a Torrential Gearhulk, so let's say you just cast a Dig Through Time, right? Cast a Dig Through Time, look at your top 7, take 2 cards. If you take Sublime Epiphany Gearhulk, you can then cast a Gearhulk on the next turn to like Fatal Push or Neutralize or Commit, do something, right, with your Gearhulk. Then the next turn you can Sublime Epiphany to counter their spell, draw a card, copy your Gearhulk. The Gearhulk copy comes in and then flashes back the Dig Through Time, and that's ridiculous. You can also just like Dig Through Time into Torrential Gearhulk, then Torrential Gearhulk flashback Dig Through Time. The second Dig Through Time can find the Epiphany, and then you can cast the Epiphany to like counter draw, copy your Gearhulk, Fatal Push something, Hero's Downfall something. That's all sweet. If you do the Epiphany first, if you Dig Through Time and get Epiphany Gearhulk, you can just Epiphany counter draw. You can then Gearhulk, cast Epiphany on their next spell, counter draw, copy Gearhulk, the copy hits Dig Through Time. It gets ridiculous. These cards are just really sick together. A little expensive, so I might be getting a little bit greedy here, but we on this channel support and appreciate greedy Magic players. Shout out to all of you out there being greedy. I love it. Sideboard, you got a lot of the stuff you'd expect in blue-black. Aether Gust, Negate, Mystical Dispute, Noxious Grasp is pretty good. Collective Brutality, a few more extinction events. Kalida's Trader of Get, and then we've got some Ashiok Nightmare Muses as more, insurance against cards that are like enchantments or artifacts that blue-black doesn't interact with very well. But this deck's actually going to be better against those than you'd think, given that we have Commit and Ashiok and Sublime Epiphany to bounce something if we need to. Let's see how this goes. This deck is really sweet. I'm super excited to play with it, and let's battle. Alright, round 1. Well, this hand's got a Fatal Push. It's got Narset. I think we keep. Can't cast the Downfall yet. We'll get there. Another thing I wanted to add, the list I got sent did not have an Urborg in it. I think if we're playing 2 Gaia Reach in a deck that's, double blue, double black, we should have some Urborgs. I also think there's a chance we should have like 1 Field of Ruin. But I definitely like having the 1 Urborg. Urborg's also really nice in this deck because it allows Fable Passage to tap for mana early. And then like you can hold it for the turn you want to crack it and turn your Fatal Push on to make the Fatal Push better, which is really relevant because it's not very easy to enable Fatal Push in this format. So I think any deck like this, like controlling, that wants to have the Fatal Push on at the right time is going to want at least 1 Urborg. I could see 2, but probably just 1 is enough. But yeah, this deck should definitely have an Urborg in it after playing with the list a touch. I'm going to crack and get some black mana here, though. So I'm able to cast my Fatal Push next turn if the opponent plays a 2-drop, get my Narset in play, help find an opt, probably. Yep, alright, they're opting, so could be Teamer, could be blue-white, could be blue-black even. Can't really think of too many other decks that would play opt in this format. It is weird for blue-white to mold a 5. That doesn't generally happen, but maybe. Okay, so opponent's on a blue-black deck. Maybe we're playing a mirror here. That would be wild. I would, be sweet. I don't really expect that to be the case, but maybe. Alright, Drowned Catacombs was a great draw. Lets me cast all my spells now. I'm going to get Narset in play. If they counter it, they counter it. It feels like they're going to. Censor, okay. Don't love getting censored, but I'm still going to jam Narset next turn. You better believe. Just going to keep jamming. I guess if they pass, they can't have 2 censors, right? Alright, they are just... Oh, Thing in the Ice. Well, Now we get an excellent turn of Narset plus Pusher Thing in the ice. That sounds very good to me. I would like to minus my Narset Plez. Yeah, I mean, they might have something like... Ooh, these are all good. I do think I'm supposed to take that, though. They might have something like Eliminate to kill my Narset here. And that wouldn't be great for me, but at the same time, opponents on 3 cards. Not the end of the world if they do. I've got an opt to look for what I need, and if they do something proactive, I get another bite at the apple with another Narset minus, so... okay, they're going to play their own Narset. So it looks like we've got the Narset mirror here, folks. Gonna be... Oh, they got a dig through time. That ain't good for me. That is a quick way for them to get back in the game. So we're looking for like a Thoughtseize here or an Eliminate. We weren't looking for Fatal Push. That was pretty far down the list of things we were looking for. Ooh, Neutralize is good, though. I'll take a Neutralize. The question is it better than Teferi? I don't know the answer to that. Yeah, I don't know the answer to that. I think... Huh. I think Teferi's going to be slightly better, just given how many dead cards I have in my hand at the moment. I'm going to kill their Narset now. I do not want to let them untap with a Narset. Not super into that. It also lets me cast the Op main phase, which I will do. Oh, Cling to Dust. Interesting. Cling to Dust is a card this deck could consider playing, honestly. I think that would be reasonable. I would like to look for a Thoughtseize here. We haven't seen one yet. We've seen a lot of... Oh, what is that on top of our library? Is that a Thoughtseize, you say? I accept. So they just have multiple dig through times and a Brazenbauer. Still think I'm supposed to take a dig. Still think it's a pretty easy dig there. It's just the best card. Letting them have multiple... Like, they're going to get to dig now, and that's unfortunate for me, certainly, but it's still just the right thing to do to take it, I think. Not super interested in letting him go off with it, I guess. But now we know opponent has a Brazenbauer and a dig through, or a card they drew for turn, and 2 cards they get off dig through time. Feels like another Narset. Okay, it is. And now this Teferi take over whatever else I took looks horrible. Really wish I'd taken a Neutralize instead, but we did not. Wow, Teferi is just absolutely awful in the face of Narset. I still can plus on their turn, and that's fine, I guess. Not great, certainly not great, but it is fine. And I will get rid of this Extinction event. I think I play it tapped. I don't think it matters all that much. I guess I could draw a Drawn Unlock, but it's not really going to counter all that many things. Yep. They've just got another Narset. Opponent is going Narset crazy. They've now seen 3 Narsets, I guess. Ooh, Dig Through Time was an excellent draw. I do think they probably have... Oh, we got another Narset? Well, I imagine they will counter this one. Looks like maybe they're going to bounce my Teferi here, actually. Setting up to do a Brazenbauer turn. Which makes sense. Does make sense. Like, do a bounce Teferi. Nope. Alright, not doing that, I guess. I will play another Narset here. I'm going to keep this one. Let's minus on... Shark Typhoon, sure. Shark Typhoon seems good. Obviously not using Narset here. I do have 2 Eliminates, which would be excellent. A land drop would also be excellent. I don't really want to play into my Dig Through Time getting countered, though. I'd like to just let them bounce and then cast Brazenbauer, which I think is what they're going to do. And then I get to Fatal Push plus Dig at that point. Yep, that resolves. I will push it. Goodbye, Brazenbauer. So, opponent has a Fatal Push that we know about. And presumably... Oh, a Thoughtseize. Well, you don't love to see that. I am going to cast this Dig Through Time, though, in response. And because we have memory, we can shuffle stuff back in, which means we want to get rid of the cards that are kind of dead. In this case, I think it's these ones. Get rid of an Opt. Redrawing an Opt is kind of whatever. Ooh, nice. Okay, so we do get the Eliminate. That's pretty strong. I think I'm supposed to take a Neutralize. I could also see Land. Land here is not crazy at all, based on the fact that I have a Narset. I think I'm just going to take... I don't want to take Island. I guess Fetid Pools is maybe the best thing to do here. Interesting. Also, no, you know what? Fatal Passage makes my next Dig Through Time better. I think I'm supposed to take a Fatal Passage. Or Fabled Passage, sorry. Not the Fabled Push. Too many things that start with F and go into A. So, I imagine opponent is going to take my Eliminate here. That would be my guess, but I'm probably pretty fine with that. Oh, they took the Typhoon. Okay, Typhoon makes sense because it's going to be really hard for opponent to get Typhoon off the table. Yeah, it's going to be really tough for opponent to get Typhoon off the table, so makes sense. Ooh. I do like... Alright, so I would really like to hit a Thoughtseize here. Memory is also excellent. Okay. Drown in the Lock mostly works. I'll accept a Drown in the Lock. So this is their third Narset down, I think? Or did they have another one? No, they just have one in their hand. So they're going to play another Narset, which is fine. We can cope. I'm not going to play this to Fairy. I'd rather drown their Narset. Just having Narset in play feels like most of this matchup. The nice thing here is I just have 2 answers to Narset, so whatever one they take out of my hand is fine by me. And yeah, I mean, this is the combo. Like, Commit is a fine card on its front side. It is a little inefficient, but also Narset's a fine card on its front side, and you see the power here, where opponent's in a really tough spot. I mean, they have to take my Commit, but also it's not really saving them. If they have a Dig Through Time, which would be their third copy, this is really bad for me. They can actually counter my Drown in the Lock with a Dig Through Time. Alright, so opponent's just going to pass. That does make sense to me. I'm still not going to fetch. Not a huge reason here. Ooh, we drew another Commit. That ain't bad. What are we doing here? Feels like a Dig Through Time. That's what it feels like. Oh, they're Cling to Dusting. Ah. I guess I can't drown it. Sure. Yeah, that's fine. So they're playing scared of this commit or that commit memory. Little do they know we have a second. I will discard Watery Grave here. I think that's pretty easy. And now my counterspell doesn't really work. You know, I was supposed to discard Drown in the Lock there and play the land so that I could commit Narset. Yeah, that was dumb. That was quite dumb. Well, let's see what my Teferi draw gets me. Another land. Alright. Fair enough. Huh. Ooh, Ashak Nightmare Muse. Don't love that. Do not love that. All that said here, one land does let us memory. Oh, I can't even use Teferi. Well, I can discard it. Oh, but they have a Narset in place, so it's really bad for me. Got it. Got it. Okay. Yeah, nope, I'm with it. I'm hip to this. Cycling sensors, sure. And you can see us both just being absolutely crippled by Narset. It's just hysterical how bad this is for both of us. Ew. Dig through time. Alright, let's see where this gets me. Alright, I'm going to get rid of this Drowning Lock because it's bad. And I'm going to let Ashiok happen, which I don't love, but it is what's going to happen here. Okay, they're returning to Fairy to hand. Yeah, that's fine by me. Alright, goodbye to Fairy. I will probably... You know, I think I should just exile to Fairy. He's kind of done his work. And I don't really have him in the plans for next turn anyway. So yeah, I'm going to exile to Fairy here. And now Drowning the Lock is on, so that's good for me. Ooh, I drew a dig through time. There actually is merit to digging through time here, but it's gotta be better to just cast memory, I would imagine. Just leave opponent with actual nothing. Opponent's gonna get one card. And we have very many cards. Okay, well, I am into this. I'll tell you what. This is nice. Opponent's chilling on one card over there. Up to 2 cards, though. They do have an Ashiok, which is good, but when you're up this many resources, it's just almost trivial to just deal with the Ashiok by 2 for 1 yourself. Not the biggest of deals. I will push this token. Untap, downfall the Narset, or the Ashiok. I even get the Thoughtseize then, which is even more brutal. Thoughtseize you. Eliminate my Narset, sure. Get their Fatal Push. Yep, now they get downfalled, and that is all they wrote. Good night, opponent. You've been memoried into the ground. I've been told I have a photographic memory. Opponent now understands what it is I am talking about. I could counter that. I'm just not going to. I think this is actually a very good turn to... I just put a Shark Typhoon in play. Thing's not going to flip for a year and a half, so not worried about it. Oh, that's a Gaia Reach Sanitarium. Hello, Gaia Reach Sanitarium. How you doing, buddy? How are you doing? Let's cast a Shark Typhoon. All right, we're passing because we want to just leave up neutralize. Opponent has no cards in hand, so if they top deck something crazy, we can counter it. There's no way they're flipping this thing in the ice. I think they're just going to concede, for being honest. Okay, yep. Imagine that is the case. Okay, so post board, I want disputes, negates. I think my own Ashioks. Extinction Event can come out. And probably all the Fatal Pushes. What's the clunkiest thing? I do definitely want Eliminates and Downfalls. They're good ways to deal with Thing in the Ice, Brazen Borrower, and Narset. I also have Mystical Dispute for them. I have Drown on the Lock 2. Drown's pretty bad in Dig Through Time Mirrors, but I think it's probably good enough I'm supposed to leave it. Although I would not be shocked if I'm supposed to cut it, because it is just that clunky. How's our curve looking? A little high, but I think overall it's fine. Yeah, I think Drawn on the Lock is just going to be too bad. We saw opponent have Dig Through Time and Cling to Dust. I think 1 is fine. It's nice to have 1, but you saw where I had 2 in my hand there and neither of them worked. I think that's not acceptable. Ah, man. Stands close. If I knew the top card of my deck was blue, I would snap this off. Or that was an island or just any blue source. I would definitely keep. I am on the draw. I still think it's a mulligan, though. Alright, this hand's good. It's not perfect, but it is good. Question is, what's the bottom? I think it's Gearhulk. Gearhulk does give me something to play towards, but It's just the most expensive thing, and Drown's also pretty bad early, so I could see an argument for Drown on the lock, but I think you're better off to leave this here in the scenario that opponent thought seizes me, because if they are thought seizing me and fueling it, then it does become pretty good. So I think that's right. The question is, do I want to just play a tapped Watery Grave here? I think because of Thing in the Ice, I'm going to play the island and just pass. I'm not going to need this Watery Grave untapped anytime soon, and even if I do, shocking yourself in a blue-black control mirror is not the end of the world by any means. So if I end up like shocking on turn 4, that'll be fine. Just totally fine. It also, I mean, the way the hand's lined up too, it feels like I can pretty easily play it untapped here. So I just have Mystical Dispute up next turn, because I could leave up Drown, but like... Alright, I drew a Fetid Pools though, and I probably will cycle that, just given the context of my hand, so... Looks like we're going to end up shocking the Watery Grave, and that's fine. Opponent cycling Sensor, sure. I just want to... In these matchups, it seems weird to cycle the Fetid Pools, but I really just want to get closer to a dig through time and start fueling future dig through times. And we're not short on lands, so yeah, I think it's fine. I'm going to play the Swamp here. I can now cast 2 counter spells if I need to, and counter pretty much everything. I might take the turn off to play the tapped Watery Grave next turn. That might be what I do. Ooh, looks like opponent's going to jam something here. Interesting. Narset. So, I am supposed to drown because I'm not going to get a better opportunity to drown, I don't believe. And it actually works here, because they have 3 cards in their graveyard. They will dispute, I will dispute back, and we'll all look at each other and be happy. And now if I draw a Narset, we're in business. Narset off the top deck. Alright. Opt is not Narset, but also is not bad. Hello! Let's go! How you doing, Narset? Looking pretty good over there, babe. And we got a Hero's Downfall to answer their next threat, which I kind of feel like they're setting up to play an Ashiok. So, you know, that's a little awkward, but... Oh, just downfall my Narset? That's fine. That is fine by me. I got the card. Is this a thing in the ice? Oh, they're digging? Digging here is not fine. I don't like that their follow-up was really good. I'll say that. I will say that. Oh, maybe they're not doing it? Passing here would be a clear mistake if they could dig, I think. Alright. And we drew a dig. Hello. Hello, dig through time. Yeah, them digging, not digging on their main phase is so bad, I think. Maybe they just don't have it. Maybe they're bluffing. What world are they bluffing, though? Just doesn't make that much sense to me. Okay, so they have it and they just wanted to wait, I guess? Interesting. I mean, I'm gonna negate. Dig through time's way too good to let that happen. If they Mystical Dispute, I will pay. Okay, they negate. That resolves. I will neutralize. Okay, so they had the dispute. It was the last card in hand. Looks like opponents cast 2 disputes this game, so it looks like we only have 2 in our list, so it looks like they're playing more than we are. If they had a Thoughtseize off this, we're in a lot of trouble. If they don't have exactly Thoughtseize, we're in a really good shape because we get to untap and dig. Oh, and we drew the Thoughtseize. Excellent. Excellent, excellent, excellent. They just hit 2 Narsets. Gross. But we get to dig, so a second Thoughtseize here would be incredible for us. So what do we not want? I'm going to get rid of the Fetid Pools, the Drown, an Opt. I guess my Thoughtseize, a Narset. And I guess a Neutralize. I should get rid of the Dispute. I don't think it matters enough, though, that I'm going to go back and do it. Okay, so we don't have another... We don't have another one, but... We don't have another Thoughtseize, but we have a Negate, which, for our intents and purposes, works good enough. And I think the next thing we're supposed to take is this Ashiok. I think we're supposed to take the Ashiok. We just need something to get the chain rolling here. A land would have been nice, but I'd rather have this negate. So, okay, opponent drew land. They're going to jam Narset, and I think we've just won the game. GG's, opponent. You got out-sequenced, my friend. They blinked first. I mean, that's what... You blink first in a control mirror, you get punched. That's how that works. Excuse the barbaric analogy, but that is what happens in control mirrors. You don't want to be the person blinking first. An opponent blinked first. Yep, they're done. Alright. Sorry, Connor MC. It was a pleasure to play you, though. Alright, we're back round 3. This sounds a little awkward, but we are on the draw. We do have an opt to smooth our mana. I do think it's a keep. It's a kind of a... It's not a great keep, I'll put it that way, but I do believe that it is a keep. Yeah. Could be... Ugh, they got a Landwehr Elf on turn 1. Alright, we really want to find a Black Source stat. Black Source. 6 drop. That's basically a Black Source. 6 drop is almost a Black Source. Almost a Black Source. They count, right? Counts. Oath of Nisa. So, if we are playing against Mono Green Devotion, which looks to be what we're playing against, the trick here is to not let them have their payoffs. I need to kill their payoffs. Burning Tree's not good for me, though. Do they have a follow-up too, or is this one of those Burning Trees that's just a 2-mana 2-2? Okay, 2-mana 2-2. Fair enough. Black Source. One-time deck. I mean, it is a Black Source. How greedy do I get? Do I lose the game if they play Karn? I probably do. Oh my god. How many untapped Black Sources can I even hit, though? Watery Grave, 2 Swamps, Urborg, Drowned Catacombs. So I have 11. And I would get 2 looks at one of them. I'm not super likely to hit. Is Fabled Passage so bad that I can't win, though? I think that's the question I need to ask myself. I don't think it's that bad. I think I'm going to top, but I am not. I'm very low percentage sure that that's correct. The other thing, too, is like I would get 2 additional looks, but it's only really 1 look deeper than if I bottom, because I'm going to draw the card for turn that I would have drawn off opt anyway. Okay? I would have drawn 4 drops, so I guess this is better than that. If they play a Nissa here, I don't think we can win. Just awkward mana on the draw against green that kept 7 and had Elf into Burning Tree into Planeswalker. Pretty tough. And it's a Vivian, which is also not great. Yeah, this is bad news. We have awkward mana too, and just we have eliminate against them, which is not great at all. I mean, I'm gonna get black. We need to draw a Black Source here to go eliminate on Elf plus Thoughtseize the Karn. Otherwise, I do believe the game is over immediately. Blue Source. That's basically Black Source. So how do we get out of this? How do we get out of this? I think I have to eliminate the Elf and Prey. I don't think I have a better play, and I don't think this is good. But I think that's where we're at. Next turn, I at least get to go Narset plus Thoughtseize if they miss their land drop, and... yeah, still gonna lose to the Burning Tree, right? No, I guess I take 6 and then 8, so I'll go to 2. Okay, well, they have the land for the Karn. This is just gonna be too much. I'm just gonna pack it in. We kept a slow hand and got immediately punished. The good news is that I cut one of the Noxious Grass right before we started the event, so that's gonna help us out a lot. Oh, no, I didn't. I have it. Nice. Still got my Grasps and my Gusts. This matchup should be good for us. Like, in theory, it's good. And negate is actually excellent against them, even though it doesn't look like it necessarily would be. I think eliminate's pretty poor. Neutralize is fine. I think Shark Typhoon stinks. Teferi also mostly stinks. I think Kalitas is okay. It's the type of card that can just bury them. I mean, our deck is really good against them, realistically. I think this is a matchup where I'm supposed to cut some of the Narset nonsense and just trim down on stuff. I think this is what I'm going to do. I can win by just 2-for-1ing them and casting Think Through Time. The real thing here is that you need to answer their Planeswalkers. I mean, that's the reality of this matchup, is if I answer their Planeswalkers, they're in a lot of trouble. And they aren't good at presenting a lot of them. We, of course, aren't good at drawing lands. This hand's really good against them, though. If I have a black source, it's good. I do think it's supposed to be a mulligan, unfortunately. Alright. This hand is a keep. It's a bit of a sketcher, but I do think it's keep. We have Hero's Downfall in our deck. I think I'm supposed to keep the Watery Grave. I don't love it. I do think I'm supposed to keep. I'm just going to go Watery Grave tapped, Watery Grave tapped plus opt, play Narset. Hope they don't have a super fast start. I mean, okay. Well, they don't have Elf, so I think I'm good. I think I'm good with, I think I'm going to continue my sequence of Watery Grave tap, Watery Grave tap. What they reveal could maybe change it. Karn the Great Creator. Okay. That's fine. No Elf is excellent for us. Does opt change it? I don't really think that it does. Maybe it does. You know what? Let's see if we draw a Thoughtseize off the opt, because I would Thoughtseize here. I would happily shock and Thoughtseize. I don't think I want Swamp. I would like to draw more lands. Okay. Huh. I'm going to play this in opt. I could shock here, but I would like to opt again. I just need to make sure I answer this Karn, because Grasp kind of takes care of everything else. Is this a Burning Tree? It is a Burning Tree. How many Burning Trees? How many are we looking at here? Is it 2? No, Wolf Willow Haven. Alright, fair enough. So I will opt here. Ooh, Thoughtseize is excellent. I will top that in a heartbeat. Now we're just looking for... Oh, wow. This is excellent. This is exactly how you beat this deck. Just cheap answers to their Planeswalkers, and you just keep doing it. I have Mismatch opt? I did not know that. I'm going to be honest. I think they're far enough away from anything that I want to take the Oath of Nissa. Do I actually have Mismatch opts? I didn't. Alright, I don't. Fair enough. I believe the opponent, but I didn't know that. So opponent can only make 3 mana here. Their hand is Elf, Karn, Nissa. So right now they can only make 3 mana. And if they just play an Elf, I do think I'm supposed to Noxious Grasp the Burning Tree. Just to make it so I can just leave Negate up for a while. If they play Karn, I'm obviously going to negate. I don't think that's close. I also think there's a real argument here to just Noxious Grasping the Elf. And maybe that's right. I could buy that that's correct. Another Wolf Willow Haven. Fair enough. Yep, so I'm going to let the Elf happen, and I do think I'm going to Noxious Grasp the Burning Tree. I think that's slightly better. Although, hitting Elvish Mystic's not crazy. It's still not crazy. It's only 1 power difference, but this actually taps for... I'm going to hit the Mystic. I think the clock is slow enough that I can get away with this. Yeah, I think that's the case. I think it's close. I really just want to draw lands at this point. I know we bottomed that swamp, but I was looking to... I wanted a Thoughtseize just to see what I was up against. Okay, I'll take a land. Fine by me. And yeah, this turn is going to be a very easy negate Karn. Opponent will definitely play into that. Please, opponent, play into that. Don't leave me hanging here. Just so rude, man. Come on. Come on. Oh, they get to still play Karn, obviously. Hello. I am here. I am with you guys. I understand what's happening. So, now basically everything's a good draw. Land's a good draw because I can play Narset plus negate. Spell's a good draw. Gust is also a good draw. I can Gust an Emissary. Oh, they can't even play Nissa necessarily. Huh. That's interesting. I can also Gust a Wolfwillow Haven. I don't think that's crazy. I really don't think that's crazy. I do think I'm supposed to Gust the Emissary, though. They kind of need to decide if they want to top or not. Which I do think is a real decision. They bottomed it. Okay, I would have bottomed 2, but I think there's some merit to topping just based on the context of this game so far and opponent just kind of being in beatdown mode. Just a sec. Still too much mana. Alright. Opponent drew a Mystic. Fair. Alright, so now I would love to draw a land here. A land would be excellent. Come on, deck. Any land. Hook me up. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Alright, Narset gets... I'm looking for Dig Through Time. Okay, that's not a Dig Through Time, but Extinction Event is pretty good. Extinction Event is pretty good. Yeah. I also think there's a realistic argument to take Opt here and just try to look for Dig Through Time or Gearhulk or anything that gets me closer to doing real stuff. And I think that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to take the Opt, even though Extinction Event would be good. I think I'm supposed to take Opt here. I'm obviously leaving up Negate because it feels very clear opponent's turn plan here is to play Nissa. I think they will. It is unfortunate they had to kill my Narset because they drew land, but it's also good for me that they drew land because it's not another Planeswalker, which is all I really care about. And now we're just at the spot where a Dig Through Time pretty much wins the game. A Thoughtseize also, or not, Thoughtseize is bad. A Gearhulk also close to winning the game. I need a land before I can get to Gearhulk, but I'm pretty close. Opponent does have me on a 4-turn clock, but I have 25 removal spells in my deck. And this deck doesn't top deck very well. It really... Oh, hello. How are you doing, Dig Through Time? You beautiful, beautiful creature, you. Alright, so real question here is, do I tap the swamp so I can dig into dig? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So digging is the 10th resource in my graveyard. I need 12 to do it. So I'd still be 1 away, but if I took land, I could take land plus dig and chain them if I tap swamp. So I think that's actually the right thing to do. And let's get rid of Thoughtseize at this point. Fabled Passage. Grasp is still good. I'll get rid of both these Ops because we have another one. And I think I can get rid of one of the Narsets here too. Also, for the record, that last interaction was exactly why I boarded out a Narset. Oh man, this is excellent. So I like Grasp more than Gust. And I definitely want another Dig Through Time. Okay. And here, like, I could dig again. Or I could have taken a land and dug again, but just no rush. You kind of just want to chain these, which is what I'm going to do. If they don't draw anything, I'll opt look for a 6th land. If they do draw something, I can grasp it. Karn's probably pretty bad for me here, realistically. Probably the best thing they could possibly draw. But I'm guessing they're just going to pop Wolfwillow Haven, and that makes sense. So I'm going to grasp. It is better to hit Burning Tree Emissary because they are a Nykthos deck. That is something to note. Although there's an argument because I have Extinction Event in my deck that I'm supposed to take the Elvish Mystic, but, you know, whatever. Not the big... Oh, Kalitas? Hello, Kalitas. So now I'm just going to pass. My plan is to take 3, go to 6, or whatever, and then dig through time and set it up so that I can have a counterspell with my Kalitas, or find a Gearhulk, or do any number of ridiculous things here. Kalitas is the thing that just kind of locks everything up, so... They also can't pop Wolfwillow Haven here, and I might have to dig in response to try and hit, like, something to counter a Planeswalker or something. I do imagine they're just going to pop this Wolfwillow Haven, though. And they do. Fair enough. Alright, let's do a big dig. This, and Aether Gust. So, Drown in the Lock is just a hard counter. Yep, I think that's the easy take. Probably supposed to take the other dig through time. Fatal Push would also be good. Narset, given that we have Gaia Reach, is also good. But I'm just going to keep digging. No reason to stop. Can't stop, won't stop. So drawing a land here would be good. Especially Fabled Passage. Okay. That is none of those things, but that's a fine draw. That is something I will take. And now, given that Drown in the Lock is a hard counter at this juncture in the game, I don't really think opponent has outs. Yeah, even like a Voracious Hydra here just isn't going to do it. And if they just pass, I mean, I just get to Fatal Push an Elvish Mystic, and that's the game. I get another 2/2. Perfect. Oh my gosh, we drew a Gearhulk. Spectacular. So I can go for the blowout here. If they block all the way, like they put a bunch of things on it, I can just eat my zombie and just blow out their whole block. Could also drown if I wanted to. But yeah, they're just not going to race this. And now I'm passing with Gearhulk, dig through time up, Gearhulk negate, Gearhulk Noxious Grasp. I'm probably going to cast Gearhulk this turn, but I do believe the game's over. And this is why I cut the Narset package, because what you really want is just to not fall behind. You really just want to interact with their board and their walkers and not worry too much about the rest of the stuff. Alright, so I can negate plus dig through, or I could Drown in the Lock plus dig. I can also just Gearhulk negate. That has to be better. I just don't need any more value. Just putting bodies in play is going to win this game, I think. Just completely unnecessary to do anything else. Like, I can set it up to try and, like, I don't know, dig the Gearhulk the dig and drown this, but it's just like, yeah, just Gearhulk negate the Karn. I have a 5/6 and a 3/4 that they can never beat. Just don't get too cute. Questions on the draw. Do I want, like, the Eliminates back in to just keep pressuring the little dudes? I can see it. I don't think it's crazy. I could also see cutting a Sublime Epiphany for another Ashiok. I think I'm going to do that. I do like that. I want to be careful not to have too little card draw, but my stuff that plays to the board is probably good enough. Yeah. Alright, I'm going to do this. I want another removal spell in the draw. I just don't want to fall too far behind. And you saw there, I mean, we mulled the 6 on the play that game. I mean, opponent also mulled, so it's, you know. But it's pretty easy to grind through what they're doing. with the deck like this. God, another one-lander. Come on, deck. Give me something here, man. This plays, I guess. This hand's pretty bad, but it does play. What's the bottom? I really don't want to bottom the dig. I kind of feel like it is the dig, though. I think I'm going to bottom the island and regret it as I miss land drops on turn 4, but I think that's the right bottom. I'm keeping double black of note just because I do think... Oh, opponent's on 5. Jeez, okay. I do think keeping double black makes sense because I have downfall. All right, now I'm happy I bottomed the island. Well, actually, I would have rather bottomed a Watery Grave, knowing I was drawing Drowned Catacomb, but the choice of bottom land there, I think, is good. I'll say that much. All right, I mean, they mulled to 5. Do they have, like, the nutty Burning Tree into Burning Tree hand? Is that happening yet? Nope, just turn 2 Burning Tree. Okay. Fair enough. And we drew a Noxious Grasp. That's a good one. That is a good one. Nope. Sorry, had someone cutting grass there. Neighbors cutting grass, can't have that. Although, it appears you'll still be able to hear it, but not that much I can do. The mic's too sensitive. I was casting a 3-drop here. Assume a Jade Light Ranger. Oh, Voracious Hydra. Okay. I do think I'm supposed to Noxious Grasp. I kind of just want to get... I guess this is slightly better because it's a 2/3. I don't know. They're almost the same card. I guess this one has Trample. I have Ashok in my deck, which makes 2 3s, which is enough for me to want to kill this one over this, I guess. So there we go. We'll kill that one. Sure. Don't think it really matters, but sure. I'm going to play the Watery Grave tapped here. I think that's a pretty easy call. Yeah, gonna negate basically anything they play here. If they don't play something good, then they don't play something good. But we'll happily negate anything they play into Drown, probably the Burning Tree, and maybe lose to Anissa. Okay. Is Fabled Passage good here? I think it's good. Very happy about the land, given how I've drawn so far. I'll say that much. This gets me closer to digging, so I do think I'm going to fetch. Also, you could say I'm fetching to thin, but I'm really not, because I actually just... I know the bottom card of my library is land, and the bottom card of my library won't necessarily be land once I fetch. So it is exactly the same thinness as it would be otherwise, so that's not an argument. It is more just so that I want the resource of land in my graveyard for dig through time, and that is an argument. Okay, I'm going to drown in the lock that with 0 hesitation. And it feels to me like opponent has 2 Nisses in their hand. That's what it feels like. I could also buy another Voracious Hydra that they brought back in, having seen Kalidas. They wanted to have a little protection against it, and that would make sense to me. That would make sense to me. So we are set up to dig here. We would love opponent to have another kind of medium turn where they just play an elf or something. If they cast a Nissa, I'm going to negate it. Or a Karn, or a Vivian. I'll negate any of them. With no hesitation. But I'd rather them take the turn off and let me cast a dig. That would be much better for me. Post-combat Nissa? No, they just took the turn off. That was not the right play on their part. Although they couldn't necessarily have known that. So not really blaming them. But yeah, letting me get this dig through time off is probably going to end this game right now. We'll see though. We'll see what happens. Yeah. Of note, Gearhulk here is a ridiculous draw. Yeah, I mean, I think I'm supposed to take Thoughtseize Fatal Push. I think I am. I already have another dig through time, so this dig through time is less enticing. I already have a land, so I don't want to take a land. The question is Thoughtseize Fatal Push or Fatal Push Neutralize. Both have merits. I think I'd rather go Thoughtseize Fatal Push, though, because that gets me closer to digging again quicker. And I'm still mostly protected from a lot of the things opponent can do. Alright, well, let's leave with the Thoughtseize before we make any judgments on plays to make for the future here. So they do have a Nissa that they were waiting on, and the other cards they nick those, which makes a ton of sense. I will Fatal Push the Burning Tree Emissary, play an island, and now my plan is to cycle this Fetid Pools and cast a Negate if they have a Nissa or something along those lines. And then... Alright, they have nothing, so I just get to cycle Fetid Pools and dig through time next turn. And when we draw a Gearhulk, the game is over. Alright, well, that Thoughtseize doesn't really do anything. I could dig through time here and still leave up Negate, but really not a huge reason to. I basically have everything covered except like a Gargaroth or a Questing Beast, but I don't think it's super likely that they would have any of those things. Big creature. Oh no. This is a Voracious Hydra? What is this? It is a big Voracious Hydra. Well, Eliminate is going to answer that very easily. You have been eliminated, friend. Bah! None for you. Alright, so I think I want to leave Fatal Push. I think it's just mostly better than Eliminate in this matchup. I don't think it really matters, but I think that's how I'm going to play this. I know I can't hit another dig through time. Alright, Gearhulk probably has this game locked up. What's the other thing to take here? I could take Narset. Narset's probably fine. I don't know. I could also just take a Fatal Push to just have answers to stuff. I'm going to take the Narset, though. Just keep the cards flowing. We're far enough ahead. We should just keep pressing ahead, I think. So do I want to, like, opt, hit my land drop, play a Narset? No. I think I'm just going to pass. I think I'm just going to pass and play into Gearhulk and dig through time. If they draw something good, I'll negate it. If they draw like a Burning Tree Emissary or something, yeah. Good old turn 9 Burning Tree Emissary. That is not it. That is... that makes that card look pretty bad. Alright. See how opponent feels about Gearhulk dig through time. How do we feel about this? Is this okay? Nope, not okay. Opponent has had enough. They mulled to 5, which is unfortunate for sure. But you can see my strategy here of like the way I beat this deck, and the reason I think this deck is bad is that if you just keep hands that interact quick and then don't let them put a Planeswalker in play, they can't beat you. This deck just doesn't beat those types of starts very well at all. And that's my huge problem with it. I think a lot of people in the format hadn't recognized that yet, and this deck was taking advantage of it, but I think once people kind of learn how bad this deck is at grinding and how easy it is to beat by just playing Negates and Thoughtseizes, that this deck is going to be unplayable. That's kind of my take. But I guess we'll find out. Alright, we're back for round 3. Won the die roll. This hand's kind of loose, but I do think it's actually a keep. I've got lands to hit. A lot of good draws, Narset, a lot of card advantage. I get to double Thoughtseize on the play. I think this is a keep, and I might get really punished for it, but I do think it's a keep, which is weird. I think it's actually a good hand, though. Maybe it's not a great hand, but just Thoughtseize and a Thoughtseize can just really tear a curve apart. And the first dig through time I draw is going to be excellent. Any Narset's going to be good. Opt to look for card advantage is going to be good. Ooh. Opponent might have kept a loose one here. I'm going to take their Censor so they can't cycle. Then probably take their Uro. And if they miss some land drops, this game might be over before it starts. Be real nice to find... it'd be really nice here to find a Narset quick. We have 4. So that would be spectacular if we could get that. All my spot removal is going to be dead, though, which really stinks. Okay. Opt is a good draw. We're looking for Narsets. I'm going to Thoughtseize again. If they drew land, I'm probably taking Uro. course they drew land, why wouldn't they? We play an Uro deck, can't draw land to save our life. There is an argument here to take Wilderness Wreck. But I think Uro's going to be worse for me. I'm going to do that. I will be very punished if I don't find a Narset. And if I... Yeah. I don't know. This is tough. I do think I'm supposed to opt to. Looking for like... Alright, definitely not Watery Grave. Alright, Commit Memory's fine. It's fine. I want Narset, but it's a spell. I'll take a spell that interacts and there's not a Fatal Push, because Fatal Push would also be just absolutely atrocious. They shocked? I don't like that. What did you draw that you would shock here? Expansion, maybe? They want to be able to like copy something if I Thoughtseize again. I guess that makes sense. I really appreciate... so that's what I know. I know those 4 cards and they have 5. Well, we bound to land, so fetching doesn't actually thin to get us anywhere. There is an argument to play it just so I can cast Downfall, and maybe I should have. But I think it's fine. Okay, they actually missed their land drop. That's good for me. Alright, that is going to get cycled. That's happening. But I don't mind hitting land drops in this mirror. Opponent missing land drops is atrocious for them. And that was kind of my plan when I took Censor and Uro, was to just kind of cripple them in terms of land drops. So I feel like that worked out. I'm not going to complain. I would, of course... What is this? Is it Charm, maybe? No, Shark Typhoon for 0. Sure. Just cycle. That makes sense. Still hoping they miss a land here. Nope, they hit it. Not going to play the wreck, though. Alright. So I'm going to cycle before I fetch. Alright, now I will fetch because I am putting the Watery Grave back in, but also I might bottom off the opt and want to leave it on the bottom, like if it's a push. I'd rather draw Watery Grave than a push, even... Oh. Shark Typhoon, on the other hand, is an excellent draw. I'll take that all day. And another Thoughtseize. Another good draw. Okay, so... I don't want to Thoughtseize here, actually, because of Expansion Explosion. I'd rather let opponent... oh, I guess they get to dig through time here. Or no, there's still one off, right? Yeah. I'd rather let opponent cast something before I Thoughtseize. And I do think they would... I do think they will cast their dig through time in response to this, and I'm okay with that. I mean, I don't love it, obviously, but I'm okay with it. I guess that gets rid of their Uro. Maybe they're trying to avoid that. That actually makes sense. It was second Downfall is not good. John Catacombs also not great, as it turns out. I want to Thoughtseize after they make a play. I would rather Commit Memory something, given any choice. Because I just don't want to Thoughtseize, have it get copied, and then have opponent steal my Commit Memory, and I'm left with 2 Downfalls. If they want to dig through time exiling their Uro, I can accept that. That's fine. There's actually a chance I'm supposed to Commit Memory the dig through time here. I could buy that. Because then they're drawing a dig through time. You can't really do anything with it. They would get to resolve a wreck, which I don't love. But, I mean, we're ahead on board. We want to force them to act into our 4/4. I mean, that's kind of where I'm at. Alright, opponent is wrecking. Alright, I'm going to tap like this. Commit that. So I could memory here. I don't think that's crazy. I think that's actually a fine play. I can also Thoughtseize, then present lethal, which I think is going to be better. I think that's going to be slightly better. I stop. If anything here can answer a 4/4, which none of it necessarily can. And none of these really do anything. I guess they could explode. Yeah, they can't explosion for enough. So I definitely take Uro here because that's the thing that keeps them alive. Cycle Shark Typhoon and present lethal. I guess they can anger and copy it on their turn. But that's fine for me. So this is their hand now. I mean, I'm going to present lethal with this shark. Opponent doesn't know I'm presenting lethal. They don't. Obviously, they don't know about this one. So I think if they did anything drastic, they would try to go for wreck first this turn, then make the drastic, like, double anger or whatever play next turn. And they only get one draw step, and it was a tempo. So they just... I guess they can expansion copy Is It Charm to stay alive, but then their hand is going to be... anger dispute, and they're drawing wreck next turn, so they'll have a lot of mana, but they're dead the turn after, so it's not really getting them anywhere. I guess the next turn after, I shouldn't have tapped. I should have let that resolve first. That's dumb. So I guess the next turn after they can double anger, but we're kind of starting to pull ahead, and I do have the commit at some point here, or the memory, I guess. It's a lot worse once they have wreck in play, but it's fine. Draw 2, discard. Oh, so now it's lethal. And one of the cards they're drawing is Wilderness Wreck. Okay, they conceded. I was going to say, they needed to deal 2 to a creature and copy it with expansion to stay alive, and then double anger the turn after. Turns out 4/4 sharks were good. So all of these seem excellent. None of my black spells seem good at all. Although Eliminate's, like, okay. Fatal Push is definitely not okay. I do like Ashiok. And I think there's a world where I'm supposed to bring Collective Brutality in. Although it's not great. I think I can cut all of this, though. And just make this my curve. It's a little clunky, but I think if you look at the curve like this, it looks fine. Yeah, it looks fine. I should probably have Brutality in, honestly. It should probably be in over, like, something. The Downfall, maybe. This is another Thoughtseize effect. Well, this hand isn't going to do. It is close. I would love to keep a hand that has a Dispute and a Narset in it. Narset's my best card in the matchup. Okay. This isn't a hand that has Dispute and Narset in it, but I do think this hand is good and worth keeping. I think it's an easy bottom the Gearhulk. And I'm going to go Watery Grave tapped, then Thoughtseize Watery Grave tapped, I think, with this hand. I think that's what this hand wants me to do. The life doesn't matter all that much, but it could matter, and I just say I'm not doing anything better anyway, so I may as well. Alright, not looking for opponent to Growth Spiral here, although opponent's probably going to Growth Spiral here. And that was actually an excellent draw. Because now I have a play next turn I can make that does something good. Alright, negate, that's fine. That is fine. Stuff does give opponent a spot to resolve something, but I think really it's not going to matter. Alright, Downfall was probably the worst draw in my deck. I have exactly one just dedicated removal spell in my entire 60 right now, and that's the one I drew. Not the end of the world, though. Obviously, I have Teferi. I can pitch it if I need to. I might use it on the shark. I probably still won't. It's probably just not worth it. I think I'd rather just let them ping away at my walkers or whatever. I actually think I was supposed to just play the Fetid Pools tap there. I actually do want to hit my land. Although it feels like opponent's setting up to Wilderness Wreck with a Mystical Dispute, and when they do that, it's going to probably beat me. Which feels bad. I don't know if there's a lot I can do about it, though. I mean, given my hand, there just isn't. I cast the interaction I had, and they had more of it, which is annoying. I wonder if they have a Mystical Dispute. I'm absolutely stunned they had a Mystical Dispute. Never saw that coming. Never saw that coming. Who could have foreseen such things? Alright. Yep. I guess I'm drawing. I imagine whatever I play here is going to get negated. Probably will get negated. I do think I'm still supposed to Teferi. I mean, none of my other plays are better. I can't dig either. Yeah, I'm going to play Teferi. It'll get disputed or negated, and I'll be sad, but gotta cast my spells. They had a dispute. Unbelievable. You know, it's one thing for the opponent to have it, but when it catches you completely off guard like that, just came out of nowhere. Just came out of nowhere. Very frustrating. Get caught by a surprise attack. Ashiok is at least the type of card that can bring me back from a spot this bad. That's good. It's good. I kind of need opponent's hand to be like 3 more lands, though. Or at least not an expansion. If it's an explosion, that's all they wrote. I mean, opponent's just going to draw 6 and I'll... oh, it's a dig through time. That's fine. That's probably not super bad for me or anything. It's probably not super bad. Oh, they missed their land drop. Okay. We drew Negate. Negate's actually interesting. Doesn't seem that interesting, but it is. If I do get to negate something here, that's good for me. Otherwise, I'll cast my Dig Through Time and be sad that it got negated too. Just repeatedly. Another wreck. Well, things are looking horrible for me, I'm not going to lie. Blue-black is not good at removing enchantments. And what's going to happen here is opponent's going to cast Expansion Explosion for like 15 with the Mystical Dispute that they dug for, or the negate, or whatever it is. And then I'm going to lose to it. So that's frustrating. But I do have a negate. So I can counter it. If they have no other interaction. That resolved. Well, I think it's incredibly likely opponent has another dispute here. And by incredibly likely, I mean I'm within like 99% certainty this is getting disputed. But also, like, my Ashiok would also get disputed, and unless I draw a land, the Dig Through Time is getting... What? How did any of this happen? What? What is going on? What happened? How did this work? I do not understand what has happened here. Okay, well, Narset's very good. Gearhulk's also decent. I don't hate a Gearhulk. I'm never going to get a good opportunity to use it, though. I don't think Sublime Epiphany's right. It's, like, fine, but, like, not the best. I think... I think, honestly, it's Gaia Reach Narset. I think that's going to be my best shot at winning this game. Make sure I hit my land, cast Narset. Opponent just doesn't have interaction, which I'm stunned by. So I definitely want to play around Dispute. And I can actually activate it on their turn to stop a draw step right now, and I'm not really doing anything else, so I may as well. I may as well. What? I am... What? I guess they just needed to... What? You didn't counter the dig through time? Or the counter on your explosion for 4? Okay. I guess. I don't understand what just happened, but fair enough. I am kind of stunned they played their land. I think I'm going to get explosioned again, and this time it's going to kill me. Alright. I'm not beating an explosion for 11. I will pack it in. My opponent had a really good start there. Counter my Thoughtseize. I guess I should have shocked and Thoughtseized. I definitely want Brutality over Downfall. I think that's just a clear change I should be making. I probably just want the second Brutality, honestly, just as, like, horrible duress. And, like, by horrible, I mean, like, really bad duress. Like, aggressively bad duress. I would not be shocked if Teferi's just too bad. I guess Teferi's pretty bad. This card's not good. It's a lot better game 1 when I have dead cards, but post-board, when all of my cards are pretty good in the matchup, it's a lot worse. Okay. I think this hand's a keep. I wouldn't say it's a good hand, but I do think it's a keep. Opponent's only looking at 6. So we want a Thoughtseize pretty bad. The question is, do I want to lead on Fabled Passage or Island? I think it's slightly better to lead on Fabled Passage. And I'm going to fetch Swamp. No, I should just still get Island. I should definitely still get Island. I don't have a double black spell on my deck post board. I already have a black source. I want to make sure I can cast this Narset on 3. If opponent doesn't have early interaction. Their deck is like going to be mono, sensors, negates, and mystical disputes post board, so they probably have interaction, but I want to make sure that I can if they don't. And I would like to draw a Thoughtseize. That would be really nice. Thoughtseize off the top right here would be perfect. Thank you. Nope, that's an opt. Alright, well, fair enough. Dispute would also be very good. I guess I can just opt main phase. Oh, I do have the mismatching opt art. Don't want Sublime Epiphany. I'm going to bottom that. Alright, Gaia Reach is pretty bad. That's a pretty bad one to draw there. Kind of hoping opponent taps out. They don't. I didn't think they really would, but... Don't really want Watery Grave either. We drew Swamp. Perfect. Basically a Watery Grave. Alright, do we jam Narset? I think it's actually interesting. They have to have one of their counters, and they probably do. How much better is it getting for me if I wait? Not that much better, but also they don't have like a great punish necessarily. So it's not like a bad time to do it. That said, I can probably find a turn. I also have land drops that I can hit. Alright, I'm going to draw a Thoughtseize at some point. I'm not going to get antsy here. I do think I either have to make the decision of jam right now and hope they just don't have it yet, or wait for Thoughtseize or Brutality or Dispute or Negate. Like, I need to make that decision. And given that I have Dig Through Time lined up to go on 5 right now doing nothing else, no, that ain't it. I guess I can use one to pitch the other, so fair enough. And I probably will do that end of turn just to make my Dig Through Time next turn cheaper. If opponent doesn't... Are you cycling? Oh, cycling a Triumph. Fair enough. I mean, given I have another Guy Reach, I think I'm really supposed to do this. I would say most of the time I'm not, but I think given the situation, I definitely am. Okay, well, that ended up working out spectacularly for me. We will take that. So, what does my turn look like here? Opponent's cycling a Typhoon for 1? Nope, just cycling another Triumph. So opponents had a really land-heavy draw. I think I cycle Typhoon instead of digging here. I think that's the case. They have a second Blast Zone, so they'll be... Opponent's going to be out here blasting. Started blasting. I would like Island. I already have my second Black Source here, and I don't really need another Black Source anyway. Let's cycle. Get this Typhoon a-rolling. Alright, Swamp versus Shocking and Watery Grave. I think it's small, but I do have multiple, like, that's double blue, single blue. I think Shocking is better here. I don't think the life matters really at all. I think by the time life matters, the game will have been lost in other ways, so don't really think that matters all that much, and I should just press the shark advantage, if you will. I do expect opponent to Dig Through Time here. I do expect that. Just Growth Spiraled. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. I'm going to Dig Through Time end step. So, oh, they're countering on a Blast Zone. Sure. Oh, I was probably supposed to Dig Through Time there when they put that counter on. That was... Yeah, I messed that up. I did want to have 2 pseudo counterspells available here, so maybe I messed that up. I don't know. Opponent's out here thinking. Their own Narset, huh? I don't like that. Let's start by Dig Through Timing. Wow, we mostly whiffed. It's actually kind of annoying. I definitely don't need land, and I think Thoughtseize is definitely one of the takes. The question is, what's the next take? I don't hate Brutality. Go with Thoughtseize plus Brutality plus Narset next turn. Seems decent. Seems decent. I can also go Gearhulk, which I don't hate. I think I'm going to go Gearhulk. I think Gearhulk's slightly better. I think I was really close and Gearhulk's just very slightly better. I am supposed to commit here. This will probably get countered, but I think that's fine. I think that's okay, because my next turn gets to be quite good. Okay, well, that's annoying, but not the end of the world by any means. We can pressure the Narset. So, I mean, the fact that we have a 3-3 here is huge, and it's not super likely the opponent has a good way to kill it post-board, whereas we do have things that can beat... okay, I mean, like, they have an Is-It Charm, but it doesn't beat a 3-3, and now I get to get their Narset off the table and do my thing. Oh, well, Neutralize was a fantastic draw. So let's start with the Thoughtseize. Let's see what's happening. What am I working against here? Opponent has a Negate, an Is-It Charm, and an Expansion Explosion. Huh. I do think I'm supposed to take the Negate for what it's worth. Although Expansion Explosions are only real payoff. So maybe I do that. No, because I just want to resolve this Narset, and then Expansion Explosion is not good either. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to take the Negate. Go to combat. Let's attack Narset. And then post-combat, I'm going to play my own Narset. And if they counter it, or they try to Is-It Charm it, then I'll pay. I think... Wait, does Is-It Charm only hit instant or sorcery? Yeah, okay, that might be the case. What I think they're going to do is tick up Blast Zone. Ooh. Another Thoughtseize is excellent, though. Yeah, another Thoughtseize is very good. Negate would also be good, though, but Thoughtseize is just too good here, I think. Thoughtseize you. Definitely going to take the Expansion Explosion now. Yeah, this part in the game, I'm going to take the Expansion Explosion. They're going to take this up, Blast Zone, and then pop Blast Zone next turn, but that's fine. That does not worry me in the slightest. I mean, that's their turn, right? They're popping Blast Zone, spending 3 mana and sacking a land. And that's good for them, but it's like not even clear if they're supposed to main phase it so that I can't like use the Narset or so I don't get like an activation out of it. Like it's just not clear what opponent's supposed to do here, I guess I'd say. So I know opponent's hand is Ketria Charm, Is-It Triome, or Ketria Triome, Is-It Charm, and some other card. I don't know what the other card is. Oh, it was Steam Vent. So they're gonna cycle, I guess. That's fine. I'm gonna cast my Opt here. Sublime Epiphany. Ooh. That's interesting. It is interesting. If I had 1 more mana, I would definitely keep. It might still be worth it anyway. It's just really powerful. It's kind of clunky, though. I think I'm going to bottom. Okay, Gust is certainly better. That's fine by me. Land here would be... Okay, that's not a land, but that is still quite good. I'll take that all day. So now I just don't need to make a move for a while. At some point I will. Okay, so they're just going to sift. I think cycling Triumph was better there, but that's fine. The question here is, do I want to Gearhulk Dig Through Time and just get really far ahead? Opponent only has 1 card in hand after this. I think I'm supposed to do it. Given that I have a dispute, I think I'm supposed to do it. I also think that I'm supposed to dispute this. As bad as that is, because this isn't good, it means that they just can't have the combination of like Wilderness Wreck plus Explosion, which I think is the only way they get back in this game. I don't think there's a better route for them to get back in this game. And they can't put both together next turn. I guess if they drew Wreck exactly, they could do it. Huh. I guess that's interesting. Alright, well here I'm definitely going to take Thoughtseize and Narset. I think their time would also be good. I'm going to take Narset though. I'm going to take Narset. I think I'm just supposed to let this happen. The more I've thought about this. So they did discard the Ketria Triumph. So I know nothing about opponent's hand, but they only have 2 cards I don't know about. We do know they discarded a Stomping Grounds as well, so it's pretty likely they kept the only spell. Castle of Vantress isn't the spell. Gross Spiral also isn't. Okay, well now I think the game's over. Now I think the game might be just well done. Well done. Yeah, I was going to say. This game's not getting better for you, opponent. I got a bunch of gusts and stuff and a board. It's too big. Alright, this blue-black deck might be showing some potential here. I don't know. I'm kind of feeling it. Alright, here for round 4. This blue-black deck's been pretty nice. I don't think this hand's a keep, though. I think this is a mulligan. This hand seems like a keep to me. I wouldn't say it's like the best hand I've ever had, but it does feel like a keep. The question is, what am I bottoming? I think it's Narset. I do think it's Narset. I need a blue source, and by the time I get a blue source, Teferi I think is going to be better. I mean, obviously it could be Extinction Event or Push. They could be dead in this matchup, but I don't know until I see what opponent's on. I think in the blind, I'd rather bottom Narset there. I think that's somewhat unclear, but I think a fine way to approach this. Choked Estuary. Definitely should have bottomed Fatal Push. Alright, well now we know. Thoughtseize is a good draw, though. At least a decent draw. It's not a bad draw, I guess I'll say. Ooh, opponent's hand stinks. In for that. And the push is good! I'll take it! The push does something. Take it. I don't know where people get off with this thing in the ice thing is real. I don't really think that's the case, but fair enough. And they actually had an eliminate, so keeping Teferi over Narset was brilliant. Blue source, let's go! Let's go! Alright, so I think they're going to cycle Fetid Pools here. That's my read. It's my read of the situation. They cycle Fetid Pools. I called it. Mind reader. That one was sarcastic. People didn't. No, not Thoughtseize. No! Come on. That turn? Gosh. You could have waited one more turn, man. I mean, definitely goodbye to Teferi. It's annoying, but goodbye to Teferi. Play the other island. There's a thing in the ice. I will Fatal Push cast. And we're sitting here with nothing to do. Gearhulk? Gearhulk's not great. It's not terrible, though. Kind of plays, I guess. Opponent's on 3 cards, and at least one of them's dead. I'm on 2 cards, and one of them's definitely dead. Okay. That's not a great draw, but it's not horrible. It's not another Fatal Push in a spot where Fatal Push doesn't do anything. Alright, opponent is like blue-black, actual tempo. We are doing tempo stuff, I guess. So maybe the downfall is like actually good here. I don't know. I could try to like put an Extinction Event on this, but I think I'm better to do this now. And like if they have a counterspell, then I can resolve Extinction Event. If they follow up with a Walker, obviously I get really punished for this, but I think it's fine. I do think it's fine. Do they have like a ninja in their hand or something crazy? Are they trying to ninjutsu me? Too much Yuriko on the brain. Kalitas. Alright, opponent is way in here. We drew a Fatal Push. Well, that's not it. Alright, I'm gonna Extinction Event for even. Your go, blue-black tempo dude. So I have many good draws. Lands are good. Removal spells seem good based on what opponent's playing. Them having dig through time is not good. That's probably bad. But dig through time would be an awesome draw for me. That would be a fantastic one, as it turns out. And they Thoughtseize me. Goodbye, Gearhulk. It was nice having you while you were here. Alright. Narset would be good. Drown in the Lock. That's great. Right after I dig through time. Ugh, man. This card seems like it should be good, and it's just really not. It's quite annoying, actually. How not good. Oh, my God. 2 cards? Perfect. Perfect! You'll love to see it. Just love to see it. I got a censor. Okay, well. We drew a land. That's nice. It'll help us cast the Gearhulk that's in our graveyard. Not that I had that many good draws anyway, if we're being honest. The Drown was brutal, man. Absolutely brutal. Oh, they whiffed. No. Oh, they just hit another Narset. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I will counter that. Thank you, Urborg, for being a pal. So I know Eliminate. They know I have Fatal Push. That's where we're at. I need to draw something that does something. Narset kind of does something. I'll take a Narset. It's going to get eliminated, but I at least get to draw a card first. So that's a good start. Dig through time would be incredible. Let's hit a dig through time. Yes, we are eliminated. I get it. Dig through time. Dig through time. Hello. We out here. We got a dig. Opponent doesn't necessarily have a dig. They might have a dig, but they don't necessarily have one. The double black source is coming up really bad here. I am glad I cut a swamp. Oh, this feels like a... Oh, an Ashiok. That's bad for me. That's bad news. Very bad news. Alright, well, I'm going to Fatal Push that. I think it's going to be bad, bad news. Alright. So what do I have here to get me out of this? Watery Grave might be good. Definitely going to start with a dig through time. So, Narset's out. Gearhulk's out. Extinction Event's out. Thoughtseize to Fairy Push. And I didn't hit a downfall. I only had one left, so I wasn't really thinking I would, but I wanted to hit a downfall. So what can I do here? Shark Typhoon's okay. It's not great. It's like okay. Thoughtseize plus Dig has to be better, I assume. I think that's where I'm going to go. Okay, opponent has a Dig through time in their hand. They didn't cast it last turn. I'll take that. I will take that. So they have 2 Fatal Pushes, which I actually don't have targets in my deck. Ooh, I can actually dig here. That's nice. I will do that. So, my Narset's not very good. Because it's going to get pressured by their tokens. If I had a downfall, it would be good. Maybe it's fine, though. I think I'm going to take Opt Narset. I'm really just looking for a Gearhulk. I think think that's what I'm looking for. I don't know. This does not feel like a good spot for me. But it's not terrible either. Commit memory would also be pretty good from where I'm at. Alright, they drew land. So their hand is still just 2 fatal pushes. So commit memory would be pretty good here. Or no, it wouldn't, because they have a Narset. I lied. Not good. Would not be good. Narset. Ooh, Sublime Epiphany's not bad. I do think I'm supposed to just opt, though. At some point, I'm going to find relevant stuff. I mean, that's a good card. Huh, there's actually a chance I do want that. I think I'm supposed to bottom it, though. Oh my god, there's a freaking Narset in play. Why am I... that's a really poor play on my part. I shouldn't have even taken the op. I'm playing a Narset deck and I forgot my opponent's Narset had text. What am I doing? It's just like inexcusably bad. It's ridiculous. Oh, I forgot that ulted that quick. That's horrible for me. 3 spells from exile? Oh no. Gearhulk? Oh no. Oh my god. This is a disaster. And a Thoughtseize? Think I'm dead. Yeah, I mean, I probably had a chance to take a commit memory and I just didn't do it. Now that I'm thinking about it, I think I just misplayed that whole game. Just like thinking I'm in on it and I'm just misplaying left and right. That's not great. That was poorly played on my part. Feels bad, man. Feels bad, man. Ugh. Alright. Push is out, even though we saw Thing in the Ice. God, Drown in the Lock, just not good. And Dig Mirrors. I guess I'd rather have a push. Like 1 push is fine. Ugh. I feel like I just beefed that whole game. I kind of want to go back and be like, I feel like I had a chance to take a commit memory on one of the digs and then just didn't and was just dying to an Ashiok I couldn't remove when the whole time like commit would have been the answer I was looking for. I don't know. I kind of thought Ashiok's minus was 8 too, which is not. That's not how the card reads at all. It's embarrassing because I'm playing all of these cards. That's the thing that really gets you. It's like, yeah, no. These are all in your deck. You should know what they do. Oh, boy. All right. It's getting hot in here, man. Time to open a window. This hand's bad. It's bad. I'm not gonna lie to you. I do think it's a keep, but it's bad. Make no mistake how bad this hand is. It is bad. I do think it is a keep, but yeah, it's not good. It's really not good. Oh, man. I feel like we started down. I mean, we mulliganed an opponent didn't last game. I feel like we started in a bad spot and played our way back in the game and then just threw it when we started digging through time. I don't know. That's going to be one I'm not super happy about. I'll say that much. So now the question is, do I cycle? I think given that my dig through time is gone, I'm better off playing this. Because now I kind of just want to get up to 6. I mean, that's where I'm going. That's what I'm trying to go towards, I guess. I don't need to shock here, but I do think I am supposed to shock. Like, I could obviously just play the island, but I think denying a little bit of information here is relevant when you're playing against Thoughtseize. Like, if I play this, then opponent has 4 of my 5 cards. Okay. I haven't thought Cling to Dust looks great. It's like fine. This deck should maybe have a Cling to Dust or 2 in it. I could see that. I could see maybe I'm making a mistake not playing 1 or 2. Opponent casts a Narset. Alright, let's find something that beats the Narset. That's not the thing that beats the Narset. Don't really want it either. Okay. Teferi's really bad against Narset. Like, quite bad. As it turns out. An opponent found a mystical dispute. Fair enough. Well, I do think that means I'm supposed to play Teferi. I don't like it, but I think it's the case. And definitely not plussing on my turn. I will plus on theirs, though. Probably going to discard my neutralize, would be my guess. I guess I have to see what I draw. So what are they doing here? Another Narset. Perfect. Perfect. Are they going to downfall Teferi? That's a win for me for sure. Consider that a win. I think I'm just pitching my downfall. I think that's the worst card in my hand. Ooh, we have our own Narset. We can't play around Dispute. But we do have our own Narset. That's good. And we get to make a 3/3 Shark here, which is good. They Thoughtseize me. That's less good. I still think I'm supposed to make the 3/3 Shark, though. They might have an answer like a Brazen Borrower, but they also might not. And now I can pressure their Narset. It's better than trying to downfall on the Narset, that's for sure. Okay. What are we taking here? Probably my Gearhulk, I would guess. I guess they have a dispute, so maybe Gearhulk's not that threatening. They still took it, though. I guess that does make sense. Gaze Undoing. Well, that's horrible for me. Absolutely horrible for me. I drew Dig Through Time, which is actually kind of a good draw. I can't help but feeling like, yeah, well, this game is definitely done. The opponent did to us what we were trying to do to them. We lost a mirror. Well, there goes my Dig Through Time. Tough to win with 1 card versus 7 from the opponent. Thing in the Ice. I still think this is built not great, if we're being honest, but I think some of what opponent is doing is better than what we're doing, I guess you'd say. Okay, Narset's good. If they don't have Dispute here, I think we have a shot. They have Dispute here, of course. But if they didn't have Dispute here, I think we would have a shot. Nope, I don't want that. I want this. Alright, I've seen enough. Well, our only loss is a mirror. So I guess that's a point in favor of the deck's power. We did know already, though, that the deck was... I mean, we know that the shell is good. Like, I know that the Fatal Push, Thoughtseize, like, good blue counterspells, Dig Through Time shell is good. That was what made Inverter broken, right? The combo was good enough as a win condition. It was just the best win condition to pair with it. But that wasn't what made the deck good. The thing that made the deck good was Thoughtseize Dig Through Time. That you could just keep finding all these things. You just had cheap, efficient stuff. And this might be the best shell for it. I think this is an underexplored archetype in Pioneer and one that needs looked at more. Certainly. I would say that. Okay, so it's annoying that our first land can't cast Thoughtseize, but I'm never mulliganing this hand. I think it's way too good to mulligan. I've got cheap interaction. I've got kind of an engine card. I think this hand is quite good. Landmore Waste. So, yeah, presumably the sack deck. Fair enough. Not having the turn 1 black source is really annoying here. Although Opt helps. It does help. It's nice for me that they let on Goose, too. I actually kind of think that's pretty good for me. Makes next turn's decision easier, I guess I'd say. Okay, Priest makes sense. Does make sense. How do I feel about Downfall? I don't think it's very good. I think it's okay. Kind of looking for that Extinction event, if we're being honest. I think I'm on a bottom. Alright, would have liked that last turn, but here we are. Ooh, Urborg! Urborg was a nice draw. We'll take an Urborg. Thoughtseize you, opponent. What I'm saying is 10 Woe Striders. What is happening? What is this? Sure. Cast Fatal Push on Priest. What his hand was actual 15 Woe Striders. This showed me a hand of every Woe Strider in their deck. I am mind blown, but also I kind of respect it. All right, they played a Woe Strider. We're all stunned. Gyre Reach isn't very good here. It's not. I mean, it's not actually horrible. I wouldn't say it's great here, but it's not horrible. Certainly. One card on the bottom. So that's not Collected Company that they were looking at least. It was a Dragon Skull Summit. Fair enough. I screwed this up. I was supposed to just play a tapped Water Grave. I thought there was a chance I'd want to cycle the Shark Typhoon, but... Oh, they just didn't play it? Interesting. I guess they're just making... I don't know. I will cycle the Shark Typhoon and trade with Woe Strider this turn, though. I will do that. Unless they do something crazy, then obviously I might not do that, but... I think it's pretty likely that's what I do. They also didn't make a food. Interesting. Block. So I imagine the other Woe Strider is getting played here, unless they drew like exactly Citadel or Coco. Okay, doesn't seem like they necessarily did. Fair enough. I'm gonna play that tapped, and I do think my turn here. You know what? I should opt main. I don't want to land. Draw land. It's a better land to draw than the other ones, though, because I at least get to cycle and opt. Here. Just build your own, look for Dig Through Time. Catacomb Sifter. Fine. I mean, we are at a spot where Extinction Event would be incredible. Gearhulk would also be pretty good. I can also just cycle this Shark Typhoon end of next turn and just make a 4/4. And it just kind of locks down their whole board. So, okay. I guess we're casting something. They have Court of Calling? Are they making a food? What just happened? What died? They played another one? Alright. I don't know what happened. Fair enough. So they have no cards. Well, alright. So Extinction Event's like the nut draw here. So my Epiphany's not terrible. I think that's actually a keep. I think that's a keep despite being kind of bad. Alright, so they're going to get a 1-turn window here. But I get a 4/4 Shark. And if they can't answer it this turn, I think the game ends. I do think the game's going to end. They don't have that many things they can do here, too. They can't even punish me with Citadel. And I'm taking 5 down to 7, but I have a 4/4 in play, and I can copy the 4/4 if I need to. If they drew something wild like Push, maybe I'm in trouble. Ooh, Narset is a very good draw, actually. Wait, this lets them bring back Woe Strider, right? That's not like the end of the world either, I don't think. Or no, it's 4. It's 4, right? Escape, exile 4. Yeah, that's what I thought. They actually maybe should have sacked their Goose there, honestly. I would definitely buy that they were supposed to sack Goose there. Alright, they topped. So presumably whatever is there is good. I really need to hope they didn't like draw Coco this turn or something ridiculously bad for me. Okay, Elvish Mystic was not ridiculously bad for me. Just gonna play this tapped. I am 1 elf away from basically locking them out. I need him to cast a spell so that I can copy my thing with Epiphany. And then they're pretty much locked out to Narset. Plus Reach. I think that's where we're at. They will be able to like repeatedly bring back Woe Strider every like 4 turns. Or whatever. But I think it's all fine. Mayhem Devil. That is A-okay in my book. Alright, so I would like to counter target spell, return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand, create a token of copy of target creature, and I would like to draw a card. Cast. Choose target spell, that one. Non-land permanent. I guess Scion? Probably Scion. Yeah, it's definitely Scion. Creature I control is Shark. Target player is me. Man, Sublime Epiphany really stinks to have that cast against you. Holy cow. That ain't good for the opponent. That is real not good. That is very much not good for the opponent. Ooh, you even drew a Fatal Push? Excellent. 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 And now their attacks went from looking like okay to just, you don't have them. You have no attacks. I have 2 4/4s. Making a food and F6ing, fair enough. Respect it. Alright, so let's do this. Put a Narset in play and see what Narset delivers. 2 Eliminates. Eliminate's good. Take an Eliminate. And then I'm going to put my Guy Reach in play, and I would like to stop opponents in their upkeep. They never get to have another card in their hand. At any point. in this game. They'll get to cast Woe Strider every few turns, but they never get to have another card in their hand. I don't need a swamp. I've got an Urborg. Thank you, though. How many Woe Striders does it take to beat what I'm doing? Oh, sorry about this, opponent. Sorry about this. They can scry all they want. None of that does a darn thing. They're not drawing a card. This is nice. I'll take this all day. I guess I eliminate the Woe Strider. Nothing else really even matters if we're being honest. You can scry all you want. It doesn't do anything. I guess maybe they're trying to set up where they get an attack, but they just won't. Like, that's just the reality of the situation here. I can also probably just kill them. Although they can start doing the food thing. Yeah, maybe I'm just being dumb. It's too sweet not to do this. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to yield to this. I'm going to yield to this. I am really enjoying this. The Gaia Reach wins are awesome. The hopelessness just doesn't... Like, the opponents don't always grasp it, and it's just wonderful. Alright, I'm going to Fatal Push your elf. You can scry as many times as you would like. Absolutely welcome to. I got another Narset, so you have to get rid of this one. Oh, the joy won't end. It will not end. It's a dig through time. It's a pretty good one. I'm going to keep it. I was going to say, you can pack it in, my friend. The Narset lock strikes again. Too strong. Alright, so what do we got for this matchup? Noxious Grasp is okay. Gust is actually good. Kalitas and Extinction Event seem excellent. And I actually do like Negate. What's not good? I know Sublime Epiphany was good there, and so is Shark Typhoon, but I don't actually think they're good. I think they were just good there. I think that's what that was. Drown's actually good. I think Drown is good. I think I'm supposed to cut to Fairy. And Commit Memories, I probably do need it. I don't like it that much, though. I do feel like I want a Narset. Or Ashiok. I actually think Narset's kind of bad in this matchup. They just have too many random things, and they're pretty good at attacking. How do I feel about Downfall? Downfall's okay. It's okay. I'll commit. I think I'm going to cut one Neutralize. I think my 2-mana counter is going to be slightly better. No, I'm supposed to cut a Downfall and not a Neutralize. I screwed that up. I'm supposed to just have one Downfall. I screwed that up. Ugh, oh well. If this hand had black mana, I would definitely keep it. On the draw, it might still be worth keeping. I do have a Cycle. I have Extinction Event, which is excellent. I've got a Fatal Push for when I do draw black mana. I think this is actually a keep, even though it looks pretty bad, honestly. Drawing black mana would be amazing. Black mana off the top. That's black mana. That plays. It's not as good as Watery Grave would have been, but we'll take it. Beggars cannot be choosers, as it turns out. There's a Priest of the Forgotten Gods, sure. It also looks like it is a fantastic Fatal Push target. And one of the reasons this is like the best Fatal Push target is the deck is really heavy on 1s and 3s, but does not have very many 2s. And as it turns out, this thing wants to name odd every time. So hitting the 2s with your pushes is actually very good. And that's the best one to hit. So that just worked out just perfect for us, actually. Alright, we'll look at blue source here. Gust, I don't want. I want a blue source. That's the land. That was the one I was looking for. That was the land we were looking for here. Alright, second extinction event's pretty good too. So I'll counter something like a Coco here, but definitely not countering like a Mayhem Devil or a Woe Strider, like a Woe Strider, Catacomb Sifter, 2 elves, any of that. Not going to counter. I would definitely counter a Coco, but they also won't cast it main phase. But I would still counter it on my turn, I think. I accept. That's fine. I guess the Catacomb Sifter doesn't get exiled. He can sack that, but I do get to exile the Woe Strider, which is the thing that actually matters here. And they can't cast Citadel yet. So that's good. Let's name odd. Oh, they didn't even sack. Interesting. I do feel like this means there's a Coco in my future. Oh no, they can Citadel. Crap, I forgot about the Scion. Oh no, I just beefed this whole game. I just had no reason to... Ugh. That is such a punt. Gosh, man. Oh, just a Woe Strider? Wow. Wow. Absolutely bailed out. I'll take it. Unreal. Oh, wow. Even... Jeez, man. Holy cow. Alright, so this turn is going to look like... I'll counter stuff if I need to. I probably want to dig through time so I can play Kalitas and leave up Negate next turn. That's where we're at in this game, I think. The clock is not particularly scary at the moment. That's fine. It has 1 card in hand. I'm going to cast a Dig Through Time. So I definitely want land here. Question is, do I want Thoughtseize? I think I don't. I think I should just take Gearhulk land. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. It's probably drowned. Just want to make sure I have good mana. Alright. I'm going to play Callie. If opponent casts Assassin's Trophy, I will negate. But I'm saving this. I would much prefer... So it was Assassin's Trophy. Huh. This is tough, because I don't need that. Like, I'm going to 5, and then I can Extinction Event with Neutralize up, but I'm only giving them 1 draw step. They just can't beat a Kalitas. I'll give them 1 draw step. I'll give them 1 draw step. If they hit exactly Citadel, I'm in trouble. If it's anything else, I think I win. It needs to be exactly Bolas' Citadel. I mean, that's the reality. And if they don't hit Bolas' Citadel this draw step, the game is done. I think opponent understands that too. I mean, I would say it looks like opponent understands the shape they're in. Although I guess if they hit like another trophy, they're still in it. Although I can just Extinction Event and... Another Woe Strider. Alright. This woe is striding. It's everywhere. I'm heavy on the Striders. Yikes. I think they're not going to be super happy when I cast this Extinction Event. And name Odd, and my Kalitas lives. They can't even sack the Scry. Oh, they can sack the Goat, I guess. They topped. Well, sorry. I'm odd. I'm a shock. Let's bash with Kalitas. Go, Kalitas. This deck should have 2 of these right now. I'm not gonna lie. It's wrong that it doesn't have 2 of them. I think that's the case. Although Extinction Event is pretty close proxy. Oh, sorry, opponent. You waited so long to draw it, and then I countered it. I mean, if opponent hits that like a turn earlier, I'm losing this game. I will. That card's just too good against me. But they didn't, so I mean, this is what happens. So now if they don't have a great draw step, if they do have a great draw step this turn, I torrential gearhulk neutralize. If they don't, I torrential gearhulk dig through time. And either way, I think I'm winning. God, it feels nice to cast torrential gearhulk again. Just wonderful. So beautiful. Is this a trophy? Oh, Coco? Okay. That is a good draw step. Probably one of the best things to get him back in this game, and also probably not enough to get him back in this game, for being honest. I think both of those things are probably true. Torrential gearhulk and dig through time is messed up. I'm a fan. So do I need more lands? Not really. Another gearhulk's like not that bad. Drown doesn't counter. I mean, Drown's fine. I'm probably supposed to take Drown Gearhulk just because having a counter for another Citadel is just so valuable. I should just do this. Yeah, I think that's probably true. So I do have 8 mana, so I can attack and then drown whatever they block with. And then still have Gearhulk neutralize up for their next turn. I guess that... No, this block just gets them blown out, right? Okay. Drown the Mayhem Devil. Another Zombo. I'm actually at a point here too where I can just actually Gearhulk any card they draw next turn. Just Gearhulk neutralize and the game's done. That's all I have to do. So they kind of have to draw Coco. It probably doesn't get them out of this game. So let's say they did draw Coco. Is there a better play now than me just downfalling the thing? Like, is it worth it to leave it up? I don't think it is. I think I should just still downfall right now. Just get this out of here. Then if they do Coco into something good, I can, like, Gearhulk downfall the thing and attack, and they probably die. Well, alright. Now the game's actually over. I'm just going to attack. Thought that might be over. Okay, so that deck actually felt really good. I think there's something here for Pioneer. I'm not going to lie. I liked a lot of the changes we made. Commit felt a little clunky. I think we could maybe go down to 1. I did like the 2 Gaia Reach and the Urborg. I thought that felt pretty good. I actually liked having 2 Gaia Reach. It's actually kind of nice. Like, you saw it come up where it's like, what's the awkward situation when you play 2 Legendary Land? Well, you draw both of them. It's nice that it kind of gets out of that by just discarding extra copies of itself. So that's interesting. I do feel like I want another Extinction Event main. There was a couple times where I really wanted it. This Teferi, I think, is maybe better than I thought. I don't know. Drown in the Loch was pretty rancid. I don't think this card's very good, and I think we should be looking for other stuff, especially in like a Uro Dig Through Time world. Like, and I'm a fan of Drown in the Loch. I've played it in a lot of decks, but I just think, yeah, probably not great. Probably not great. I thought Eliminate was pretty good, though. Overall, deck felt really strong. There's a chance it should have 4 Dig Through Time. If you told me it was supposed to have 4, I would buy it. It's maybe crazy we don't. I think with 4 Narset, you can kind of get around 4 Dig Through Time. But yeah, I do think the deck should have another... Maybe... Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it doesn't need another Dig Through Time because of Gearhulk. Maybe Gearhulk just is those extra Dig Through Times. I don't know. Worth experimenting, though. I do think I wanted a Duress on the board somewhere. These Ashioks did not feel necessary. Like, I think 1 would be fine. I definitely would rather have another Kalitas than a second Ashiok, I think. And then, like, another Extinction Event main, this out of here, second Kalitas, get rid of Ashiok. Why is Ashiok not going away? Go away, Ashiok. And then I think I wanted 2 Duresses. Duress seemed like it would have been really good a couple times. Or maybe another Mystical Dispute. I could buy that. I like Duress, though, in a Dig Through Time deck where you're just trying to, like, take their thing and then fuel your graveyard so you can dig quicker, and then there's a lot of times you want to like Narset on 4. I could also just buy it being like 1 Duress, 3rd Dispute. That all seems fine to me. Negate was pretty good. I like Negate. I can honestly see a 3rd Negate. I think Negate's just pretty good in the format right now, honestly. But yeah, I don't know. A lot of sweet stuff here. Overall, I like this deck. Probably would play it again. It was a lot of fun. It was a sweet deck. And remember, if you like the content we're making here and want to see more of it, we always appreciate it if you like the videos, if you subscribe to the channel, retweeting any of this on social media, or just sharing it on Facebook. All of that, really appreciate it. Anytime you want to do that, it helps us out. And yeah, that's all I got for you guys. Oh, remember, if you want to do this, you're welcome to leave a comment saying, hey, Zach, I saw this deck. I want to see how it plays out. How would you build it? What would you do? And I'll hop on it because, you know, I'm trying to put out a lot of content. It always helps to have suggestions from the audience. So I do appreciate it when you guys, you know, drop me suggestions and help out. So with that, I'll talk to you guys later.